My name is Srijan Sanam. I am the office manager for Nexen construction. So my father came over to the US when I was 1 year old, and we lived in Connecticut. We lived in a little basement underneath an apartment building. And then after that, we climbed our way up and we got to middle class. From there, I branched off and went to Penn State and started doing my own thing and got into hardware business. And then from there, I got into a construction business, and I've been here since. When I was in college, one of the first jobs I got was working at an Ace Hardware. I knew nothing about it. I knew that there was screwdrivers with a plus sign and a minus sign. And then from there, I learned so much. I just really didn't want to leave that job. And I became manager there within 2.5 years. And I loved helping people and just seeing the faces come in and out. Sometimes they'd bring their kids and watching the kids grow over the years. It's always been nice. Most of my work is something that's very clear-cut, black and white. In terms of challenges, I would say it comes to the lack of knowledge that it'll take me a while to acquire. Just the lack of experience with the whole construction industry. I mean, by the time you learn something, there's already another new product that popped up, or they changed the laws on how you can do certain things. And then it doesn't have to be that large. It can even be like, from one project to the next, they say they want it A, B, and C, and then you give them A, B, and C. They're like, no, I want A, B, and D. You're like, okay. So you have to change it up a little bit, and sometimes you end up changing from like not letters to numbers. They're like, I want 4, 5, and 6. You're like, you asked for A, B, and C, what happened? So it's a little bit hectic there, and sometimes I can keep up with it, but sometimes I will ask for help. I'm like, guys, I'm a little confused with this. Can someone please help me? And the team's very nice about that. For my free time, I'm much more of a creative thinker kind of guy. I like to write a couple stories, hang out with friends, and do what some people would say is like nerd things. We play some Dungeons and Dragons. I can do world building. I can create fantasy stories, sci-fi, and really explore my creative side of things. Whenever I invite people, I tell them, hey, bring your appetite with you. I'm gonna make this kind of food, or I'm gonna make that. So it's always nice to have like a small little food party, and then play some games, watch a movie. One of the things I like to do, usually whenever it's nice out, like on a summer day like this, usually on a Saturday or Sunday, I will get on the motorcycle, I'll go out, hit the highway, and just ride for a couple hours and look for random billboards and signs that says, food this way, food that way, or try this new beer, or this winery. So my number one thing is to just hop on I-80 and then just go one direction. And then when I get to a place I don't recognize, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna pull off here, take some local back roads or whatever, and see where I end up. And sometimes I find really cool places, other times it's a bust. And then on my way back, I'll find some place that I have been to. And I'll pull off and I'll just have like a whole day there, just meeting some of the locals, trying some of the food. And it's always nice to hear all these different people's stories, and meanwhile enjoying some food that I haven't had, or a new place, a little hole in the wall maybe. I like all kinds of food. You can go from steak and burgers to pizza, African dishes to Australian dishes, German. We can go wherever and I'll eat a little bit of everything. There are some places that have some kind of Middle Eastern cooking. Personally, I like to make my own. With the creative aspect of it, I'm free to do whatever I want. I found that I can control the spice levels. I can put as much love into it as I want and make it really good, or if I can make it something really quick, it's still gonna be better than your frozen dinners. I think one of my things that I would like to achieve in my lifetime is being able to be at the point where I can just help people just on a whim. If I'm just out and about and I see someone has an idea, I would like to cultivate that idea. With any kind of job that I would be with, I would make the most of it. Just seeing from start to finish, that is a huge accomplishment, knowing that I was a part of something that's touching the clouds at this point.